Well, Luke, it's been a tough week for the club, as I'm sure it has for the players and everyone to do with Truro City, but to come here today and put in a performance you can be proud of for the fans, for the coaching staff and for yourself as players, must have been so important.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, after the news last weekend of us being relegated, it's never easy, for us as players, staff, and for the fans as well. But I think our message is we just got to keep going, try and give the fans something to be proud of from now until the end of the season. And I think we did that today.
Yeah, so it was 1-1 between yourselves and Forest Green, who are at the top of the table in playoff position as it stands.
Yeah.
To put him in a performance like that against that kind of opposition must be a lovely feeling. Can you sum that performance up for us?
Yeah, I think the win played a big part. I think it was quite strong today, and I think they came on a bit in the second half, and then I think the red card changed things. We could be a bit more aggressive, and I think today's performance just shows that we can play with the big boys essentially. They're in the playoffs like you said, and we're where we are. But I think based off recent weeks and recent performances, I think we've shown it, and I think that's just the message for us now, is just go out and show what we can do between now and the end of the season.
You mentioned about the wind there. It's been strong up here for the last 3 games. It's been blowing in all different directions. What have you learned across those 3 games that have helped you today? And
make the most of the wind when you can. We didn't. I think in the first half we didn't have as many shots as we could have, whereas in the second half they did. Straight from kick-off, had a shot in the corner, but I think we dealt with the wind really good in the second half. I think we kept the ball quite well, put the ball in good areas, and we just kept battling and got a point.
As you said previously as well, obviously Forest Green picking up that red card quite early into the second half. You'd have thought it'd be easier to play against 10 men, but having watched a lot of football, it's not always the case, and it doesn't always work like that. How did you find facing the 10 men?
Sometimes it can be harder because teams sometimes they go man down and they sit in. I don't think they did today. They tried hitting us on the break and using the wind a couple of times, but I think we dealt with it quite well. I think that red card, like you said, so early on, it kind of not gave us a boost, but it we kind of felt this is our time. Let's push on, let's make the most of it.
And you obviously scored the equaliser. That must have been a lovely feeling. I think they took a deflection perhaps, but a nice goal nonetheless.
Yeah, it was only a slight deflection. I think it was going in anyway. But no, it's always good to get another goal and do what I can to help the team. But it's another point in the right direction, and it's on to the next game now. There's
chances to win there at the end as well. It must have been slightly frustrating not to take all 3 points this afternoon.
Yeah, like you said, it's a bit frustrating, but I think we've felt that frustration a couple of times this season where we've felt on top in games and we haven't been able to make the most of it, and it just wasn't quite going for us. I think there's a very good shout for a penalty at the end which the ref has missed, but yes, for us we've just got to try and make the most of our chances when we get them.
And we said the game kind of had everything, including a very animated away bench. What did you make of that?
It gave the fans something to cheer about, but no, stuff like that, it doesn't really like, we're not focused on that on the pitch. We're just trying to do what we can to get the win. I think their manager's obviously well known in that, so I think everyone was getting onto him a bit, and I don't think he was best pleased. But I think the second half we were on top, and I think we dealt with the wind quite well, and like you said, we had chances to win at the end.
You mentioned the fans there as well. Obviously, as we mentioned, been a tough week for the club, the fans as well, but to hear the fans in full voice today, over 2,000 here, that must be lovely for you.
Yeah, well, they've been amazing all season, home and away. I think away more, seeing as we're at the bottom of the country and we haven't got any close games, but they've been with us right from the start, and we're all really, really appreciative of the support that they're giving us each week.
Congratulations on the goal. Thank you very much.
Thank you.